It's 1964, and the BBC, or Auntie Beeb as she was known, is already 45 years old. So far, she's given birth to one televisual child. And on April the 20th of that year, she was to find herself once again in labour. Do come on, Auntie Beeb.
Frustrating and sometimes quite sexy.
And I said to
Tonight on 40 Minutes, Margaret Thatcher, is she sexy?
Good morning, John. Goose fat. And he said, I know, madam.
Margaret was never the easiest person to get on with in Cabinet, but there was something about her.
We remember Geoffrey coming to see us one day with a policy that we didn't much care for.
And I said, please, Margaret.
And we said, no, Geoffrey, no.
She was a very sexy woman. I remember going to her.
And we remember Nigel came to see us, and he said, you must, Prime Minister, I insist.
I was very insistent.
And we said, no, Nigel, no.
I said, Margaret, please.
And we said, no, Geoffrey, no.
I said, Margaret, please listen.
And we said, no, Nigel, we will not listen.
I said, Margaret, I'm pleading with you on bended knee, you mad,
power-crazed bint. And we said, no, Geoffrey, no.
I said, Margaret, just listen for 1 minute, you completely
deranged old boot.
I said, Margaret.
We said, no, Nigel, no. Bad dog, Nigel. No, no, no. You bad dog.
And I found myself on all fours in front of her, and she literally trampled me on foot.
And we remember very clearly that Nigel was very cross.
It was really quite erotic.
But life under the Tories wasn't all doom and gloom. There was also fun to be had.
You ask him what he's doing. Give us that.
I'd like to buy a dead parrot, please.
I don't want to be a shopkeeper. I want to be a travel host.
Comedy's an incredibly serious business. Anyone who tells you otherwise simply isn't taking it seriously enough. Rowan Atkinson's probably the most serious person who's ever been born, ergo he's the funniest.
Lump.
I think it's fair to say that every single word that Rowan says is funny.
Hooligan. Lubble. Waste paper basket.
I put Rowan together with the cleverest man in the world, Stephen Fry. Stephen, of course, invented adult humour. Thumb chums and willy biscuits. Ladies' wee-wees and poo-poos. Gentlemen's diarrhea. So, we did a pilot of Blackadder for BBC Two. It was just dynamite. Button up your body hole, Blackadder. Here comes the new king.
Top living roars, Blackadder.
Congratulations on being crowned King Edward VIII. King Edward VIII.
This is my new totty, Mrs. Simpson. She's a blooming Yank.
I'm gonna be Queen of England.
Untrouseringly good news, eh, Blackadder? Although personally, I'd prefer Bertram Russell's bloated, boil-faced brother became betrothed to your royal bigness.
Gee whiz and Perry!
Have you met my new Prime Minister, Sir Stanley Baldrick?
Hello, Blackadder.
Bloody hell. Botty-boiled bastard! Ah, general disaster. What news, General Disaster?
Bad news, I'm afraid, Lord Melchett. One, I've cut my finger.
You bloody disaster!
And two, Hitler has invaded the Rhineland.
Top bloody hurrahs and all that.
Hey!
Bum. All the dash and big bugger burps, Blackadder. It was a wonderful show. Absolutely super. It was one of those shows that was wonderful and super at the same time. Absolutely wonderful and totally super. Historical comedy there might be, but there was also room for history to be dramatic. It's snowing again. It's always snowing in Moscow at this time of year.
I can see Comrade Milinkova down by the statue of me. She's a widow, Comrade Milinkova. Her husband died of natural causes, which is not at all natural in Moscow at the moment, if you get me drift. I can't seem to stop having people bumped off. I call it me urge to purge. Here comes trouble. Comrade Jim Broad-Bentovich.
Hello, Stalin.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Yep.
How's the 5-year plan going?
I'm afraid it's failed, so I suppose that's curtains for me.
Well, you can have these ones if you like.
Very kind of you.
I thought I might go for chinks. It's nice and cheery. What do you think?
They're brightening the place up a bit, weren't they, Stalin?
I'm having him shot later. It's a shame, really. He's a nice man. Now history began to happen before our very eyes. The Cold War ended. The wall came down, and for BBC Two, trouble was brewing in not 1, 2, 3, but 4 form. The new channel was young, anti-establishment, and it wanted to shaft BBC Two up the arse. It was time to change or be buggered. And change came in the form of a new controller, and his name was Yentob.
I made the Citizen Kane.
Orson, oh, Orson, Yentob, Orson, friend.
Yentob may have had an arts background, but he could see that Channel 4 was dumbing down fast, and he wanted a piece of the action. He needed a man with the skill to dumb down an entire channel, and he found him.
Albus Dumbledore.
Yentob, see salvation.
These red leather seats are really quite cosseting.
Be vulgar, Jeremy. Be Mockney.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm in a vagina. I'm a dildo! Yentob brought his ghastly new head of comedy, Paul someone, who was a horrid little man.
I didn't want all that elitist Oxbridge crap. I wanted alternative comedy, edgy comedy full of edge and edginess by ordinary working-class, middle-class people who'd failed to get into Oxbridge.
Oh, shut up, Neil.
Where's Mike?
Hey, it's cool out there, and so am I.
Somebody hit someone, for God's sake.
And it was all edgy comedy then. Just edge. No side, no top, no bottom, no back, no front, just edge, edge, edge.
Would you like to suck my lollipop?
Oh, you are awful, but I like you, young man. Young man.
Yentob was successful in his quest to beat Channel 4 on its own moronic game. But he was uneasy, agitated, distressed.
Yentob unhappy. High culture, he claimed.
And who from the world of high culture, exiled to America and rejected there, was as alienated as Yentob?
Mr. Potter. Yes. Only Mr. Potter can make Yentob happy. Yes. Yes.
He's the one. Yes, him. I choose him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do beg your pardon. Oh, I say, how are you?
Do I?
Yes, last week, you remember?
Yes, of course.
And now it's today. So you must be on your way too?
The rehearsals.
Yes, for the play, isn't it?
The television play.
Yes, the one that I wrote. I'll come with you. Come along. Are we still rehearsing in the...
The hospital.
Yes.
Yes.
Stop it! What are you doing? What are you doing to our Mary?
I saw something in the woods. Aunt Mary Whitehouse being porks.
Right in her Forest of Dean. Look at your face.
I've got cornflake eczema.
And I've got Rice Krispie psoriasis.
What's to be done?
Maybe we could do something weird, like mime along to an old song.
Good morning, Skin Game. Holland Skin Game, please, ladies. Good morning, Skin Game. Holland Skin Game, please, ladies. I done staked my main to win, and I hope my money will pay.
Well, that didn't work, did it, Potter?
Maybe my nephew can help.
Skin complaintus, disappearus.
Is he simple?
There's something mouldy on your foot.
It's a wart.
That is the lord of all mouldy warts.
Lord Mouldy-Wart killed my parents.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Will my career come to this?
You sold your soul, Michael.
Right, Mr. Sing-Song. It's time for me to grease up your winky.
Oh, God.
I had absolutely no idea what was going on at the time, but it was bloody marvellous.
Yentop had done all he could for the channel. It was time for him to move on. The new controller was his disciple, Michael Jackson.
What kind of programmes do you want to commission?
What about current affairs?
I want a sketch show that's very, very fast.
This week, I have been mostly in Harry Potter.
The trouble with you lot is, you can't act. I'll get my cloak.
Harry Emery.
Enfield.
Same thing. Why weren't you in the Fast Show?
Oh, well,
Paul Whitehouse and Charlie Hickson were in your show. Why weren't you in theirs?
I didn't really want to be, so...
Did they ever ask you?
No.
Were you disappointed by the lack of BAFTAs that your show got?
Not at all. No, I never really think about awards.
And the Fast Show got how many?
I've no idea. 4.
4? And your show got...
None.
Does that bother you? Fast Show 4, your show, Harry Enfield and Chums. You changed the name, Harry Enfield's television programme. Still no awards.
Honestly, not a problem.
No bitterness.
None whatsoever. I'm extremely proud of my show.
BAFTA wasn't. Great to speak to you.
There were storm clouds brewing. A new man had taken charge of the whole BBC, and his name was Bert. Bert John.
I mean, Bert John wasn't really a BBC man at all. I mean, he gathered us together and gave some funny little speech about something called value for money. I didn't really understand a word, but I was there. It seemed to mean getting rid of the subsidy in the BBC bar, and I was very much there. But it's very difficult, to come up with wonderful ideas that the nation will take completely to their hearts unless one's somewhat docile. Bert John was a total cunt.
He brought in a woman to run BBC Two.
That woman was Jane Brute, and she wanted women.
I wanted Robert Robinson to front the new quiz show, but the woman in charge wanted a woman, so we used Robert's daughter.
Welcome to Is Your Child an Idiot? Tonight, who is our idiot? Is it you, Susan? Or is it Andrew? Or perhaps it's Simon? Or quite possibly Sally? What is the Latin name of the rice-field rat?
Ratus Argent Venta.
What was the name of the general who led the Anzac troops in the First World War?
William Birchwood.
RMS Lusitania, torpedoed and sunk by the Germans in 1915, was designed by who?
Lena Petrick Bank.
Who was the Secretary General of the Hungarian Communist Government from 1949 to 1956?
Enver Hoxha.
Oops. Oh dear. And at the end of that round, Sally, you think Hungary and Albania are the same, do you? The Hungarian dictator was?
Matej Frikoshi.
Knowing the answer now doesn't make you any less of a moronic buffoon, any less of a cretinous dolt. Sally, you are an idiot. Goodbye.
A new decade dawned with comedy, with Dawn.
Katanga. I like shagging dead people. Don't like shagging because they're dead, yeah?
I like shagging dead people.
Look from Dorn.
Joke. I most certainly do not like shagging dead people, obviously. Only done it once. It was impersonal.
Look from Hobbit. Dorn. Hobbit.
As the noughties dragged on, a new threat loomed. Recession. Money was tight. It was time for BBC Two to make programmes about nothing at all. Grumpy old bores are minor celebrities with absolutely nothing interesting to say about how there's too much plastic packaging.
I find plastic packaging terribly difficult to open. You always have to pop all the bubbles on bubble wrap. It's quite addictive.
I mean, what's going on? You got to buy a cucumber and it's covered in a condom.
And you end up slashing at the plastic packaging with a knife and you cut your bleeding finger.
Well, sometimes it takes my servants hours to get the packaging off the many important things that arrive for me every day, which makes me quite grumpy.
I mean, all this plastic packaging is a pain in the arse, isn't it?
Grumpy old bores will say obvious things about anything for the money.
Confusing.
Now talk about reading glasses.
They make you look like you got 4 eyes. What's wrong with contact lenses?
Contact lenses.
They're so hard to get in your eyes. Laser surgery's the thing.
And just when you've had enough of grumpy old bores, they bring on grumpy old bags. I mean, why do we even need this World Wide Web anyway?
And they won't even take money on the buses anymore. You have to have a scallop card, is it? And my grandson, he's always messing
If
around.
BBC Two was hitting the depths, it didn't want you to think so. In came a late-night arts show. It was to be more of a pseudo-intellectual snack than a delicious Donish dinner. It was dark, bitter, and thinly spread. Smarm night.
Hello, I'm Mark Egghead. This week, The X Factor. Simon Cowell et al. David Ponce.
Well, I've never actually the X Factor. I've never Simon Cowell, and I've said he never Louis Walsh.
Yeah, it's a solid
Please
decision.
let me finish, and I hope that I'm spared any more of this lamentable
Well, the minor, it's
Paul Pauling.
Betrayal, working class, bread and dripping, Ian Curtis.
Tom Pauling.
Well, I rather liked it.
But surely Sharon Osbourne and Louis Walsh.
BBC Two was fast running out of viewers and money. To solve this problem would take all the brainiest brains of the BBC's brightest brains.
This channel needs stars. Stars cost money. We need stars that don't cost money. Pipes in, pencils out.
I have the solution. Ordinary people.
Psst. Are you still a communist?
No.
Nor am I.
I still am. That's because you're a horrid little homosexual.
Gentlemen, I have calculated that a famous person plus money equals a star.
I've checked your calculation. It's correct.
I have also calculated that a star is greater than an ordinary person. If you take away money, you have to cancel out the star. But you're left with a famous person who is greater than an ordinary person.
I'm better than you.
Yes, Lord Sugar.
And I'm better than you.
Yes, Lord Sugar.
Look at my watch. Have you got a watch as nice as this one? I don't think so. I'm better than you.
Yes, Lord Sugar.
You haven't even got a watch. I'm better than you.
Yes, Lord Sugar.
I earn more money every year than you'll earn in your lives. Because I'm better than you.
Yes, Lord Sugar.
And I'm better than you.
In due respect, Lord Sugar, I feel in my gut of guts that I could be nearly as good as you, but she's holding me back.
Oh, do you now? Well, let me tell you, sonny Jim boy with a lot of glue in your hair, you'll never be as good as me, 'cause I'm better than you.
Yes, Lord Sugar.
And I'm better than you.
Oh, yes, Lord Sugar.
Now get out.
Thank you very much, Lord Sugar.
Simon is cooking for 3 very important people. They're better chefs than Simon. They're better people than Simon. They're all better than him.
You've got 5 minutes, Simon, and the clock's ticking.
Which means you've only got 2 minutes.
Time's money to them, Simon, and you've got just 4 minutes or 75 pence.
Don't keep them waiting. They're better than you.
You got 90 seconds left, Simon, and that's less than 10 minutes.
This is no time to panic, mate, but hurry up. Simon's got to give this meal 100%, and if he doesn't, phew.
And I'm in a different room to you. What do you think his chances are?
Exactly. And I'm yellower than you.
They do look absolutely marvellous. Not a hint of a soggy bottom. What a clever little ordinary person you are. Wouldn't they make a wonderful queen?
And I'm better than you. 50 years ago, this cathedral of programme making brought joy to the great unwashed.
I like television. I like Bruce Forsyth.
I like Doctor Who.
I like Coronation Street.
How different television looks today.
I like Bruce Forsyth.
I like Doctor Who.
I like Coronation Street.
BBC Two's contribution has been immeasurable.
I think the best show was entirely my idea, made up entirely of live bands presented by Jules Holland, and I cannot understand why it didn't work.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Earlier with me, Jules Holland, the only breakfast show, of course, with all live bands. And what a treat, Jeff Beck. Jeff, perhaps if I could prod you awake, little poke there. No, but never mind, because in reserve it's klaxons, that's right. And no definite signs of life, but never mind. It's live TV. We move on. Round here in a great suite, reminiscent of the Mississippi, of course the Mississippi Delta, birthplace of the blues too. The wonderful, charming and wide awake Damon Albarn.
Go away.
I'll keep that thought uppermost in my mind, and as I come round here, I can see in the gloom a friend of the show over in the corner of the studio, Roland Rivron. But first, we must traverse the sleeping Chrissy Hind, ladies and gentlemen. Shh. So I'm going to move here. Come along. And a joy of joys. Who's this here? It's Roland Rivron. Roland Rivron, ladies and gentlemen.
Hooter nanny.
Yeah, and that, yes. And I see that you've brought your dog, Rover Rivron. Rover Rivron, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what type of dog is Rover Rivron, Roland Rivron?
He's a Yorkshire Terrier, Jules.
Well, that is quite fascinating and really much more reminiscent of breakfast television. Thank you very much.
I think in drama, I'm most excited about our new Scandinavian series from the director of The Killing.
Amsen en pingo, eh? Men så amsen...
Har vi lavene der takk til rofen der, Pingo? Takk til havens, Pingo.
Ja, men sen är salen sånt men nej, så pingo, eh?
Vel er bæten på hasen på det apet, takk.
Men det sa att de som känner är sån en till silen fukt upp nu.
Kanske det på Pico.
Hej, Pingo.
Takk til hohat, Pingo. Dragen merchant har til der Pingo.
Da har jeg med meg høre. Da har jeg med meg her.
I think in comedy, the cheapest show, the best show, has to be Panel Show.
Hello and welcome to Panel Show. This week I'm going to be sacked for shagging about.
And replaced by me. Ian, for whom did everything go wrong this week?
The government? Is it Boris Johnson, tousle-haired shagger?
Boyish Koiluk.
I love Poundland and potatoes and I have periods.
Rude word.
I think what actually happened was the government...
Is it a dolphin in a bathtub?
Wasn't it total cock-up, the government? And the interesting thing about the government is it has 428 on each tentacle, which allows it to eat its own regurgitated sick. Alan, look like an overripe strawberry.
What did Ed Miliband this week?
Ed Miliband, total cock-up.
I think what actually happened was Ed Miliband bad misjudgment, which was amusing.
Is it a dolphin in a bathtub?
Russell, oh my God, the Daily Mail.
Oh my God, the Daily Mail. Oh my God, the Daily Mail.
Oh God, yeah, the Daily Mail.
Oh my God, the Daily Mail. Daily Mail, Boris Johnson, a couple of slappers.
Boyish Koiluk.
I think what actually happened was the Daily Mail, Boris Johnson...
Is it a dolphin in a bathtub?
Oh my God, the Daily Mail, total Nazis. And the interesting thing about the Nazis is they actually won the Second World War, but it was changed in the film. Alan, strawberry.
The interesting thing about Nazis, there's no T in it. It should actually be pronounced Nazi.
Diddy Andy Hamilton, please sneer at Anne Widdecombe.
Anne Widdecombe.
Anne Widdecombe!
And the truth about Anne Widdecombe...
Is Anne Widdecombe a dolphin in a bathtub?
And the interesting thing about Anne Widdecombe is it's pronounced Anne Waddicombe in parts of Scotland and Anne Wickham in parts of Wickham.
And I spend me evenings cuddling me cushion, which is more fun than me boyfriend, and it hides me cake shelf.
Oh my God, the Daily Mail!
Can we bully some old people now?
Number one's an ugly ginge. Number two's ugly and stupid. Number three's ugly, stupid and mental. Number four's an ugly, stupid, mental wanker. And number five's an ugly, stupid, mental wanker paedophile.
Number five's definitely a pedo.
A wonky-eyed wanker pedo. I'm going to throw a brick at him. Look, I've cut his head open.
It's number five, the ugly, stupid, mental, wonky-eyed wanker paedophile.
Disapproving look.
Stop starting and start stopping.
Oh, my God, the Daily Mail! Good night.
If BBC Two's past has been worth celebrating, what about the present?
Of course, what I'm really excited about is a brand new 26-part documentary we've just made to celebrate the centenary of the First World War.
December the 25th. In came Naughty Nighty News.
Delta, submu minus 1/2 G.
Good as my wife.
It's horrible and stupid.
How about you, Donald Hairwave?
I rather like sex.
So do I.
I'd like to have sex with you.
So would I.
It's the mid-60s, and television is about to get ugly.
And your start of a 10, what is the theme tune to this show? Gruesome College, Cambridge.
Bing dong dong.
Very ugly.
Welcome to Ask the Ugly Family. This week we say hello to our ugly family from Leicester. Hello.
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 And dare I say it, our even uglier family from Norfolk.
Hello.
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 BBC Two wanted a slice of the ugly action.
Hello. I'm Professor Bill Borderline Spectrum.
And I'm Dr. Fiona Firmly Spectrum.
Today, we are going to be looking at one of the most exciting things in the world. Kinetic energies and electroweak interactions of pheromones.
Or, as we prefer to say, L bar gamma to the mu times the quantity I delta sub mu minus 1/2 G tau dot W sub mu minus 1/2 G prime YB sub mu times L plus R bar gamma to the mu times the quantity I delta sub mu minus 1/2 G prime YB sub mu times R.
Sport. I like sport. Running and jumping, I'm a physical sort. But Attenborough wasn't. He liked sport. He liked sport. But of the sitting around, drinking beer and smoking fag sort. Snooker. But snooker came with a problem that almost snookered BBC Two. And in goes the darkish grey ball, nicely into the centre pocket. So here's the choice. The lightish grey ball into the bottom corner, or the darker light grey ball into the centre. Darker light grey ball into centre, narrowly missing the lighter darker light grey ball. For Attenborough, it couldn't carry on. On July the 1st, 1967, BBC Two got colourful. And so did snooker. Ray Spencer reacts by rubbing his upper lip. What a colourful character. What a tremendous personality. Now he's chuckled. Here comes the hurricane. Will it be the yellow or the brown? He's gone for them both. Oops. What's he going to do with the white? Up it goes. What a super hit. What a great sequence of shots. Colour television brought with it endless possibilities for grand documentaries, and there was none more grand than Jacob Bronowski's epic series, The Pottering About of Man.
I'm rather a long way away from you. Now I am much closer. Now you can observe with clarity the riot of beige, which is my jacket, shirt, and tie. Now I am on top of this hillock. How did I get here? It's a mystery. Now I am much, much closer, almost too close for comfort.
When one thinks of David Attenborough, one thinks of animals dying. Buffalo. Zebras. Pythons. And Monty Pythons. After 3 series on BBC One, Attenborough brought them to his channel to bear witness to their televisual death throes.
Ah, hello. I'd like to buy one, please. I'm very sorry we haven't got any. So, look here, miss.
Is this going to be a very long sketch?
Oh, yes.
You see, I'd already been to see the BBC Two people, and I'd said I'm not going to do any more Monty Python, and because I'm much, much funnier than all the others and much, much more popular, you better cancel it. And they said, John, we disagree. I mean, the arrogance of these people.
So, just how long is this sketch going to be then?
Very long indeed. I think when it's eventually ended, we'll continue to reprise it throughout the rest of the show.
Oh, good.
Before reviving it every decade for the next half-century.
Oh, good.
When it is definitely past its sell-by date.
Oh, good.
When it is a dead sketch.
Oh, good.
When it is pushing up daisies.
Oh, good. No, sorry, I like that bit. Do carry on.
When it has shuffled off this mortal coil.
Oh, that's brilliant.
When it has run down the curtain and joined the choir invisible.
I never wanted to do this in the first place. I wanted to be a travel show presenter.
It was the end of Python. Palin wanted to travel the world.
Oh, put on a linen clothing and hang around in bazaars.
Hang around in bazaars?
John Cheeshop's sketch yearned for more sophisticated comedy.
Come here, you stupid racial stereotype.
I'm from Barcelona. I know nothing.
Sorry about that.
And the only female Python, Sherry Jones,
Oh, gonna bash your brains out.
had a sex change and became a man.
They put these testicles where my vagina used to be and rather small cock.
It's the 1970s and time for the new channel to get serious, dramatically serious, about drama.
I remember very, very clearly that I was pissed the whole time. Don't remember anything. But I was there.
As I commissioned a high-quality classical piece, and for that I required the best classical lecturers in the country. And I saw Ian McKellen, he was a lovely boy, but it just wasn't right. And I saw Alan Rickman, and he was a lovely, lovely boy, but it just wasn't right. And I saw Derek Jacobi, and I thought, what a lovely boy. Lovely, lovely, lovely boy.
We had this wonderful chap playing Caesar. What was his name again? Lionel Lovely. It was Simon Super. No. Brian Blessed. I was there.
The result of this collaboration?
One Clavdivs.
One Clavdivs?
One Clavdivs.
Rome was fast falling into parlousness. All men were acting their sandals off, yet still they introduced all manner of actory business.
I do like your eye makeup, my dear Empress Mark Boliner.
It is predicted by the high priests of Jupiter that one day all girls shall have makeup like this in the 1970s, on top of the pups.
It suits you merrily, merrily.
Father, I come to warn you of my brother, BAFTA's nomination.
Now, I will not hear of it. BAFTA's nomination is a fine boy, trained by Rardus in all things flourishy.
My brother schemes behind your back. He will poison you and put me to the slaughter and claim Rome as his own.
Oh, calm down, Actus Tremendous.
He is in league with my sister. What a scorcher.
Do not hate What a Scorcher. She is indeed your sister. Go to her bed and make love to her.
That I shall. And presently shall I tear our unborn fetus from her womb and eat it in bloody fashion.
Oh, he's a very odd boy.
There is a delegation from Palestine to see you, Caesar, from a new religion called the Christians.
Show them in.
Blessed be the Brian, for he hath a loud and warming voice.
Yes, I'm very pleased with you. I will give you